Hi, Dad.
Hey, Cleo.
Can decisions shape
Hey,
your
Leon,
life?
what did I do with that my copy of that new Sofia Coppola film? It's around here somewhere.
You mean the? You know what, dude? I don't think it matters if you find it, because all you got to do is find any Sofia Coppola film.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty much the same thing.
I just watched Lost in Translation.
Yeah.
And, wait, substitute Scarlett Johansson for Ellie
Fanning.
Fanning. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not a fair trade.
No, unless you want to go to jail.
No,
I was waiting
I
for,
don't.
I was waiting for the punchline of that joke, and I'm really disappointed that I didn't get exactly what I was wanting.
Honestly, he didn't work it out with me ahead of time,
No.
so I didn't know which way to play.
Yeah. I don't know, man. To be fair though, it's no worse than the way Corey starts most of these.
Well, I have to admit that watching this movie is like it should have been called Nowhere, because that's exactly how I felt watching it. I was like,
you're absolutely right. Co-host nowhere.
I was like, and that I'm a fan usually. Well, I'll say I used to be a fan of Sofia Coppola, because Lost in Translation was the movie that really just blew me away when I saw it. And with this, it was like someone saw Lost in Translation and tried to copy it, and it just wasn't good.
It is. It's like 10 years later, somebody doing a remake of Lost in Translation, except it's her doing a remake of her own movie.
Well, part of the appeal of Lost in Translation was not only the casting. I mean, plus you had Bill Murray.
Oh,
that
fucking
was
Bill Murray.
right at
Yeah.
the height of his comeback.
Yeah.
You know, we were also happy that he was successfully coming back at that point.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's taking place in, I guess it was Tokyo.
It was Tokyo, yeah.
Which is like, I guess, at least to us anyway, and Americans, a very foreign land. There's all sorts of new exploration. Here she's trying to do the same thing with the LA celebrity scene, except you just don't have as much automatic sympathy for these characters the way you would for Bill Murray, a stranger in a strange land.
Well, tell everybody what it's about.
Okay, well, what you've got here is Stephen Dorff trying to make his own comeback.
Right.
Apparently, that's who you go call Sofia Coppola.
Yeah.
That dude who was in Blade.
Clearly, she had no budget. But go ahead.
Yeah, he plays Johnny Marco, who's like a Hollywood actor who's currently an It kind of guy, and looks like he has been for a while.
Yeah.
Like he's been kind of a
burnt out
Brad
on it.
Pitt for a while, and yeah, he's starting to get burnt out. He hires identical twin strippers to come to his hotel room and dance for him.
Like, almost every day.
Almost every day, and he falls asleep during it.
Which was weird. I was like, does this guy see like dead strippers or something? Because the way it's filmed, it's like you're like a fly on the wall just watching these strippers take off their clothes, and he looks completely bored.
What made it weird was how long the camera stayed on their
that's
routine.
The thing. Yeah.
Well,
like-
everything. That's the thing is the camera
that's the problem.
constantly does that. It always stays for too long on anything. As we watch, like the opening sequence is. I think I timed it at over 3 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, of a static camera shot of Johnny in a race car going around a track,
Right.
where with the angle we only see like the car as it whizzes by real quick, and that's it. And just see him go over and over again in this closed loop,
Yeah,
which
it's
of
like-
course is a metaphor for his life.
Sure.
But you don't need to show it for 3 minutes.
I know. I was like, that scene right there is pretty much that lets you know what you're in for the rest of this
It
film.
does. It's almost like it's the statement of the film. Like the credits could have rolled after that and said, "Good night, everybody."
Yeah. I know, 10 minutes of a car driving around the circle, 10 minutes of fucking strippers being sucky and dancing on a pole.
Well, we follow this guy as he goes around his life, as he has to do. I mean, he's not like one of those crazy, irresponsible celebrities. He's probably pretty typical. He gets a little too drunk sometimes, and
Yeah.
sometimes he acts like an asshole towards people, and he has sex with pretty much anything that crosses his path. But he's just bored by it all until one day his daughter, 11-year-old daughter played by Ellie Fanning, turns out his mom, who knows what her story is. I mean, they're
Right.
not together anymore, but she's like, look, I got to go do this other thing, so you're taking her, period, end of story. And Johnny starts finding a sort of a connection back to being alive through his daughter.
Right.
Or at least that's, what we're presumably supposed to get
Yeah,
out
That's
of this.
what we're supposed to, besides reading the synopsis. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that doesn't even happen until 3/4 of the way through the film.
Right.
I mean, until then, we are just following him around.
Yeah.
And I guess for people, it's like, what this is? This is like an indie film version of TMZ.
I suppose. I mean,
Well-
in its own way, trying to show the life of a celebrity, which, I'm sorry, only Hollywood people think that's interesting. It's not.
No, you're right.
To the rest of the reason Lost in Translation worked, because Bill Murray was a regular guy, middle of his life, didn't know what was going on, where he wanted to be. We can all relate to that.
Yeah. Two people who weren't happy, that
Yeah.
weren't all that happy from two totally different worlds, and they managed to find some common ground and develop a relationship. you
Yeah.
know?
Here you got a celebrity who has everything at his feet, and we're supposed to like watch him be bored with it. Yeah. And you go like, okay, I guess it could get boring after a while. But it's like, okay, look, dude, you have the power. Either you do something about it or you don't. But don't come to me. Don't tell me your problem.
Yeah,
Don't ask me to feel sorry for you.
He's bored of his own chosen behaviors.
Yes.
He's not bored of the stuff that's being thrust on him on the
Right.
whole. And it seems like nobody really likes him. Everybody kisses his ass, whose job it is to kiss his ass, and he just, okay, whatever. He don't even have an opinion about it one way or the other. But any other celebrities he meets, they're like, go fuck yourself.
And the thing is that, I immediately didn't like this guy because you're like, okay, how can you be bored in hot ass-topia that you live in where every girl is flashing her tits at you, looking at you saying, fuck me? Every fucking girl in this movie, every time there was a scene with a girl in the shot, she was looking at Steven Dorff going, fuck me now.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, I'm bored.
Well, also, I don't know if you guys, if this came across to you, but to me, like, the fact that she got Steven Dorff to do it tells me that the budget was low because this guy is like, Steven Dorff, he's a C-level at best celebrity.
At best, yeah.
And so watching the whole time, it's hard to even buy that he has this kind of lifestyle. And if he does, it just feels sleazy. It's like I didn't even like envy him. I was just like, whatever, dude. You're in hell and
this
you
had
deserve
an
it.
echo of some reality, like there was a celebrity who we believe life
Right.
might
If
actually
they got a
have
bigger
been
celebrity,
like that.
Brad
do it.
Pitt, that's all I thought about. Brad Pitt.
I
Brad
thought maybe
Pitt
even
were
like a
in
Bruce Willis.
Yeah, even Brad Pitt couldn't do it now because we're like, okay, now we picture him living a whole different life. But there's got to be, any number of people that would have fit this part perfectly and would have loved it. Would have said, wow, this is a great opportunity to like do a different type of movie. I mean, Coppola is not a bad director. She's just a very distinctive director, and you've got to be in the mood for her films, which is to say, really startlingly wide awake.
Well, the thing is, like, her problem is, like, with this movie, it's like she filmed all the boring parts about this story.
Yeah.
Like, things that just weren't interesting. She'd linger on, like, an apartment hallway forever with a character walking into a room, laying down, looking at his watch, looking at the ceiling, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm waiting for the story to kick in because I'm about to check out. I mean, this is fucking boring.
Well, that's the thing is that she is trying to get across to the audience, which she got on early on, and she could have moved on at that point, that this guy's life feels that way. It feels circular. He feels trapped. He feels like there's nothing. He feels bored. Okay, we get it. But it is still a movie. You've still got to tell us a story. You've still got to entertain us in some way. And that, I mean, at best somewhere, and it does accomplish this in a certain way. It creates kind of like you can get into like a Zen-like state watching it the same way you can with Lost in Translation.
Okay.
And it's just because of the way she directs it. I mean, it is because of those pauses and the way it's just meditative and the use of score that she does. I'm like, okay, I like certain aspects of it, but you can't help but compare it to the much better Lost in Translation.
Well, you know what? I'll go you one even further because this whole idea of, okay, the guy who's a celebrity has everything thrown at him, but it's the love of a little girl, his daughter, that'll humanize him.
Yeah.
I'll take you to The Rock and The Game Plan.
Yeah.
Which was, sure, it was goofy and very Hollywood. At the same time, there was a moment where he realizes it, where it actually made me tear up. It's like, you know what? As schmaltzy as this movie has been, at the heart of it, it knew what it was doing. It was able to accomplish that, make me connect with that emotion. We're here.
Yeah, it's all disconnect.
It's a complete disconnect.
And it takes too long to get to the point.
It does.
It really, I mean, it's not until like the last like 20 minutes of the movie do you realize that, oh, there's some emotion going on between these two. And it's like they kind of spell it all out to you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, why didn't you do that while we were hanging out with this girl and her dad, throughout this time that we had with them, spent time with them, besides just watching them play like video games. And I got no sense of like, they seem fine. There seems to be no issue with him or her,
right?
Until the very end, where it's like, there needs to be a point to this movie, Sophia.
Well, there's a terrible coda that even people who like this film said, wow, what the fuck was that? At the coda at the very end where you're like, wait, what? I don't want to say what it is, even though, it's hard to say you could spoil anything about this movie per se. But it's just such a generic Hollywood thing to do in some ways, and it just seems silly. You're like, okay, whatever. You just turn off like, okay, well that was we sat through all that just to get there. But you know what? The best thing someone could do at this point is grab a hold of this and footage from Blade and re-edit it into Deacon Frost Frost's origin story.
Yeah, that's all I thought. That's all I
He wasn't always such a bad guy.
all I thought. It's funny you said it because that's all I. When I saw Steven Dorff, that's all I thought was like, wow, he still looks like Deacon Frost from Blade, and I was like, oh god, is this the boring adventures of Deacon Frost? Is this that movie they're trying to make right now?
Right.
The prequel to Blade. I'm like, oh god, here it is. Don't make it, please.
Well, I can say like there are two other places where I disconnected with this character. Was one, he's at a party and he's got a genuine fan who says like, man, your technique, what is it? And he's like, shit, I don't know. I just get up there. Once you get an agent, leave me alone. It's like, wow, you really don't even like have a talent or a craft. You're just sort of there. But the other thing was like, he leaves his 11-year-old daughter alone with Chris Pontius from the Jackass
The
group.
Wild Boys.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, is that the Jackass guy? The guy who constantly whips his dick out?
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, wow, somebody's trying to bring back his career, quote unquote.
But I was like, dude, you don't really care about this girl if you leaving her alone with him.
Yeah. And even those scenes were a little creepy.
They were very creepy.
Yeah.
It just
it's
seemed
not
like
like he
he was
whipped
just like
his dick
right
out.
on the edge of hitting on her. And if it had happened, I'd have been like, yeah,
That's what you
know.
get.
I was waiting for Steven Dorff to turn while he was too busy distracted with Guitar Hero. I was waiting for him to turn around like, dude, what are you doing?
Are you
with
making out with my
daughter?
daughter?
Over there?
You know what I
It
hate?
sounds like you're picking her up.
They actually advertise this as starring Michelle Monaghan, who I love. Is one of my favorite
She's
actors.
barely in it.
She's in it for what, 2 minutes,
Yeah.
if that. Just long
If
enough
that.
to give you the idea that here's a celebrity at the same level of celebrity as him, who thinks he's a gigantic douchebag and is just there because it's a promo shot.
It's a
Yeah.
fucking cameo.
That's it, great. I'll just test these.
Is that it?
And big smile. And the giggy. Thank you.
It wasn't even that good.
And that's the other thing too. The way they build up this guy, it's like this. It seemed like an actor's fantasy to be this guy because, it's like,
Right.
oh yeah, we're gonna taking you to Italy. You're gonna accept your award. Then you're gonna meet the president. Then you're gonna meet the chief of staff, and you're just gonna meet all these like figureheads.
and you're just gonna act like a hipster douchebag the whole time.
You're gonna wear
whatever.
You're gonna wear a dirty shirt, a dirty white shirt, and, a flannel over it.
Well, hell, this guy couldn't even bother to say whatever. He just stood around
just
like
looking around
He
like,
just sighed heavily.
yeah.
I did not choose this fate; it chose me.
I mean, I just think it would have made a big difference if we'd seen him like using whatever talent he had, whatever it is that makes him famous. Like we're told he's an actor and people kiss his ass, but you never see him do it.
Well, that's
Yeah.
because
So
it's
it's hard to
Steven
believe
Dorff.
it, right?
and that's why it does. And that's why it doesn't work. It's like, really, Steven Dorff. I mean, you might as well put Pauly Shore in this role.
You know what? If you put Pauly Shore, it'd be so absurd. I would almost kind of buy it. It's like somebody telling a lie that's so big
Well,
that you go like, well, it must be true.
Well, that guy bangs like every damn Playboy,
Every Playmate, yeah.
anyone who's ever been in Playboy, even the guys. I mean, he's banged all
Right.
of them. That's that. At least I get some kind of realism with it.
Yeah, but
He only
yeah.
reads Playboy to bang the articles.
yeah.
I mean, I feel like Tim Conway as Dorff gets more pussy than Steven Dorff.
Well, the chicks like the golf tips. I'm just saying. That's kind of hot. Well, and Benicio del Toro's in this too for 20 seconds.
Yeah, for
You're
20
like,
seconds.
wait, why is he here? What, did he just happen to be in the building when they were filming?
And you know what? I totally got the impression, like with the celebrities that show up, I guess those two, that they were in the area and it was a favor, and it was the kind of thing where it didn't take anything out of their day. It's like, hey, come shoot. It'll be a half day.
Yeah.
Your first 2 takes, we'll take either one of those.
Yeah.
And then you'll get paid. That's
I
it.
hate to tell you guys, if you're hoping that she's going to put in a good word with her dad hasn't had a good film in a long time.
It would have been
Not
a lot.
since Jack.
It would have been a lot cooler if Benicio would have walked in like in the makeup for the werewolf.
Yeah, it would
the
have.
Wolfman movie, just kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
That would have been like a nice Spider-Man moment.
Well,
Spider-Man 2 moment.
It's
with
funny you
that
bring
elevator.
up you bring up makeup. Is that one scene where they go to put makeup on him, and they set him in a chair and to put the plaster on and leave him for it seemed like 6 hours.
And they keep the
it's supposed
camera
to-
on him for,
right.
for,
keep
for
the-
6 hours.
Yeah, for 6 hours they keep the camera on him, and it's to make you go like, oh man, the actors, they just treat him like a piece of meat. He's so lonely. But then when it's all done and you see the cool ass old man makeup, it's like, Well, that's kind of awesome.
I
That
would
makes
do
it worth it.
Well, see, during that scene, and there's a scene right after, which I won't spoil because it's pretty goddamn funny. There's a scene after that where it's like it seemed like that section they were so bored at filming that they're like, let's fuck with him. Let's just fuck with him really hard in these 2 scenes, please. And it worked. That was like actually my favorite part of the movie because I was like, now you guys are just fucking with Steven Dorff. Come on, man.
It probably wasn't even him underneath there.
I know, probably not.
You can hear him breathing. I was just laughing. What'd I do for my art?
Good luck, Steve.
God, what would you guys give this goddamn movie?
You know, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I mean, I think ultimately I'm going to end up with a high rental because it's not that it's a terrible movie. It's just so miscalculated in so many ways. And there's so much artifice that seems to be directed entirely in an insular way, like at people in the business.
Right.
That it's hard to... you know, I'm not going to pull like a Corey and go, well, if I was a 12-year-old girl, I'd like it, so I'm giving it a full price. I'm not a Hollywood insider either, so the best thing of it is a high rental. There's things I like about it. There's a lot of score stuff. There's some good performance stuff, but on the whole, what was the point?
Honestly, I hate movies that talk to Hollywood insiders and people. I really do. It's a pet peeve of mine. It's like
It's
they
like
slap
their
each
own
other on the
club
back.
or something.
Yeah, they're their own club.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, that's fine. Show it at your parties. Don't put it out for me to see.
Yeah, show it at your Christmas parties. Yeah, and leave us alone. Make something worth it. Make something worth fucking $12, please.
And for Sofia Coppola to just go back and redo her just poorly redo a movie that she did much better, just kind of go over the same territory. The one positive thing I can say about this is the performance of Elle Fanning. Or Ellie.
The little girl.
Yeah. I mean, she was
younger.
good. I mean,
I was gonna say,
it wasn't like she had to
I
really
believe so.
stretch to do anything, but she was decent
She was
enough.
good, yeah.
But so I just give it a regular rental.
Yeah, I definitely I have to give it a rental because it's like a poor man's Lost in Translation. I mean, it's like who is the audience you're trying to cater to here? Really, I mean, does anybody besides Hollywood give a shit? And
Stephen Dorff's mom.
I was gonna say,
exactly.
I think that was the audience.
Yeah.
Steve,
But,
you haven't been in a movie for like 10 years. No, Mom, it's cool. I'm working. I'm just... Can you help me out, Sophia?
It's just one of those self-indulgent movies, really. I
Yeah.
mean, just watching it, I was just like, oh, man, Sophia, you make a decent movie, please, because honestly, I used to be a fan of hers. Now especially after Marie Antoinette, I was like, oh, okay, I don't like
dude.
this. I don't like
Boy,
this
I
route
hated
that
that
you're
movie.
going. Where, wow, you were really putting me to sleep with these goddamn movies. Yeah, the soundtrack's great. I'll buy that. Just make soundtracks. How about that? Just get your soundtracks together, and I'll buy that.
She keeps getting pushed like down tiers as far as like what she does in the industry.
I know.
She'll be like 10 years ago, I'll be like, that's Sofia Coppola. She is the best gaffer in the industry.
No, but you know what? It's funny after you were saying about you being a 12-year-old girl and having your review about it. I would actually be interested in your 12-year-old review of this movie, Cyrus. I'm always fascinated by Corey's 12-year-old girl inside him.
This is like the most boringest movie in the world.
I turned it off after 10 minutes. I mean, Steven Dorff, he's kind of cute and all, but where's Ellie Fanning? I like her. There's nobody else in here. Benicio del Toro. Oh,
Steven who? Where's Justin Bieber when you need him?
Justin Bieber.
Or whatever his
Might
last
as well
name
be.
is. Sorry.
I need you to take Cleo.
When are you coming back?
I don't know.